talking about the ideas of quantifying resistance with bodyweight training. And everybody has, and I used to believe this too, where it's like, well, weightlifting is so much easier to quantify your resistance and you mark it down in the log and everything. But there's one little thing about this whole, body weight versus weights that kind of actually doesn't really matter. It throws this whole argument into the moot point, if you will. It boils down to this. We're used to associating weights, with weight training or the weight of the body. We think weight equals resistance on a muscle, how much weight is being pressed, how much the muscle has to work against the weight. And we think resistance means tension within the muscle. Because ultimately, your strength or building muscle or whatever you're trying to do to your muscle to improve it is 100% dependent upon the tension that is within the muscle. Okay? That's what really matters, tension. Now, here's where things get kind of funky. The other day I had a guy ask me to spot him on the bench press, and I watched his technique and stuff, and he was like, what do you think? I'm like, let's try something. And I cut his weight in half. I think it was like 205 down to like 100 pounds or 110 or something. And so his weight substantially reduced. But I altered his technique in many ways. Pause, benching, bigger range of motion, slightly smaller grip, elbows, and a bunch of stuff, right? And because of that, his resistance skyrocketed. He got less reps with half the weight. Then what I did was I asked him to do some proactive muscular tension and a couple of different muscle engagement activities, because he was like, I don't really feel it in my chest. I don't feel like I'm getting much in my chest from all this. So I had that happen, some exercises he went through, and his tension went through the roof as well in his pectorals. The lesson is this: weight does not always directly equal resistance. Resistance does not equal tension. Okay? Don't get fooled into that one. Don't think because there's more weight on the bar that you've got more resistance on the muscle. Because many times you don't. And sometimes you have less. Okay? I used to do this all the time. I got more weight on the bar. How come I'm not getting stronger on my skis or anything? I was altering my technique. So even though there was more weight, my resistance on my muscles that my muscles could handle was the same. And because of that too, I wasn't altering my tension at all, because ultimately tension does not come from resistance. It does not come from your weight. Tension comes from your mind. This is the only thing in the universe that can tell your muscles to have tension in them. Just sitting there right now, flex your biceps. Boom, you can. How can you do that? You don't have any weight. How can you have tension if you don't have weight? If you don't even have resistance, but you can turn them on. Tension is the only thing that matters if you're looking to build muscle. Tension only comes from your mind. The weight and the tools and everything like that, that's an influence. It's a good influence. I'm not saying it doesn't matter, but it does not control your tension. Only this does. And that's what we're going to be talking about in the next video. Till then, be fit, live free.